Welcome back to Numi's review channel. Today we'll be reviewing another multi-tool. It is the Schrade multi-tool. Now, I do have a lot of criticisms about it. First off, the price of this tool was a hefty $20 at your local Orchlands Farm and Home. And as I mentioned previously, it was made by Schrade, the Schrade Tough Multi-Tool. So let's get down to it. Let's get down to the tools. So first off, we have the obvious, pliers. It does not have a suspension mechanism in there, so it is freely opening and closing. This light's bright today. We have the obvious pliers. If I can get it in focus, we have wire snips or wire cutters. It does not go down to a needle nose plier. It does have this kind of like divot grinded into it, which isn't such a bad thing, but also I don't really know what it's there for. And I am a little bit worried about the design of this tool, as this is basically just sheet metal that's been folded over. It's not exactly really solid, and it does have a lot of give to it compared to all the other multi-tools that I have. Now let's go over the tools. So this one has an interesting way of having its tools stored. Doesn't come out the side, doesn't come out the inside, comes from, I don't know, the front, I guess you could say. It also folds interestingly. I do like how that folds. It's not a terrible thing, and it does have some sort of locking mechanism to it for the tools, although I don't really understand it, and it isn't very useful. But let's take a look at the first tools. So, I will say that most of these tools are awful in this multi-tool. So, we have a knife that is kind of sharp, decently sharp, has an ugly polish to it, but it's not terrible. There is no point on this knife whatsoever. We have a wood cutting saw. It's not terrible. It's fairly lengthed at about 2 inches. We have a ruler, just a straight ruler, not terrible. This ruler goes to about 2.5 inches. We have a flathead, which I think I've talked about this before, but I don't like it when they put like a mirror polish on these flathead screwdrivers, yada yada. So it's not. Oh yeah, we have a wire stripper, which is pretty decent actually. It definitely would get the job done. We have a flathead driver, which is not bad at all. It is awfully thin though. That's all for this side. Like I said, these tools have a locking mechanism that I don't really understand. See how it's locking in there right now? I think it's this one. No, I don't know. I think it's this one that I used to lift the locking mechanism. And then I can close the rest of these. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so those are all nice and closed. Alright, let's look at the other side. Now, I think if I remember correctly, the other side is kind of awful. So we have this like pick all thing. Not very useful. It's not sharp at all. Here's that mirror polish as well. Alright, here's the worst part. The Phillips head screwdriver. Arguably one of the worst parts of this multi-tool. No, unarguably. As I mentioned before, it is a mirror polish. The shape of it is terrible. The pointedness is terrible. It doesn't have very much metal to it either. So it could break easily if you're trying to actually do it. We have another awl right here. which isn't exactly useful. Oh wait, no, this is a can opener / bottle opener. Not bad. It is also loose. I do not like that. Oh, we have a normal knife that's pointed and has a serration. Not terrible. It is decently sharp. Not as sharp as that flat knife we saw earlier. Then we have a file, which you have to get out from right here. It is a decent file. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good file. But overall, the construction, the idea of this is not terrible, but the construction and the construction of it is absolutely god awful. It does come with a sheath, though, I will say that. It is a nylon sheath. I don't know why this plastic bit's on here. This plastic bit's like riveted onto right here. It also has like a belt loop. But the tool does fit pretty snugly in here. Closes, has Schrade Tough on it. Terrible execution, decent idea. 6 out of 10 is what I'd give it.